So, we're starting a new podcast series, Inside Bliss, for our app, The Bliss, which is Mindful Spicy series. And we have been talking with Maya here for a while now about the app. Hey, Maya, do you remember the app Bliss?
Oh, Blitz? Of course, how could I forget? We were brainstorming some deliciously edgy ideas, weren't we?
Yeah.
Mindful and spicy. I dig it. What kind of episode are we cooking up today?
Okay, so Inside Bliss's today's episode will be the first episode, actually. And Um, let's talk a bit about why we're doing this app and how it can impact people. And taking it from this deep exploration of sexual fantasies where women and men can just dive in, write their fantasies, explore other people's fantasies, but most of all, listen to something that is so real that they can figure out what they have inside.
Ooh, so we're laying bare the soul, are we? I like it. Think of it like a mirror reflecting back what's hidden, right? This app could be a safe space for people to face their desires, the fun ones, the scary ones, all of them. It's powerful stuff. What's the title of this first episode? Something catchy that'll reel people in?
We wanted to start this one with the original subtitle of the app, Mindful Spicy Series.
Mindful Spice series? Hmm.
Hey, so why would you want to define the title now? Like,
Me there. It's that whole leap before looking thing, isn't it? I just get excited about the possibilities, you know? Titles are like the first taste, gotta be enticing. What do you think? Should we brainstorm some more, or would you rather just dive right into recording this first episode?
no, we're already recording it. We're already in it.
Oh, right. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of the fourth wall, especially when the conversation.
Wait.
You're right.
Like, how do you think Bliss would create an impact on people's lives?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Think about it. For people who feel alone in their desires or afraid to confront them, this could be a lifeline. Imagine a space where they can explore anonymously, connect with others who get it, even find a little validation for those hidden yearnings.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, come on. Haven't we all had a fantasy or two we weren't sure what to make of? This app gives people permission to explore those feelings in a safe, supportive environment. It's like having a therapist who also happens to be a master storyteller and maybe a little sassy.
Hmm. But that then there is this concern, right? Like, how is this different than porn?
That's a great question, and one I'm sure some people will ask. But here's the thing: porn is often about visual stimulation and immediate gratification. Bliss is about exploration, connection, and introspection. One, it's about understanding your inner world, not just escaping it. It's the difference between looking at a painting and actually creating one yourself. Plus, with the AI element, we can personalize the experience in a way porn can't. We can adapt to a user's unique desires, weave in their own stories, even help them process their feelings afterwards. Think of it as a guided meditation for your libido.
Like, I always give this example, but I don't know from a woman's point of view what it means. But like, imagine this. Let's say a woman is very curious about getting beaten up, okay, as a fantasy. But she cannot ask this around. Because, like, what if she really got beaten up? And what if she doesn't know how to say no? And what if she doesn't even know whether she can say no or not? And she just wants to experience this, but like she doesn't know how to experience this. And then imagine her reading or listening to a story on Bliss about this fantasy and how it can take place consensually. And then maybe this might open her eyes up.
That's a really powerful example and gets to the heart of why what you're doing with Bliss is so important. It's not about endorsing any particular fantasy, but creating a space for people to explore them safely, understand the nuances, and ultimately make choices that are informed and consensual. Let's not forget the psychology behind fantasies. They often tap into deeper desires and needs,
Mhm.
power dynamics, vulnerability, trust. By exploring these themes in a fictional context, they are helping people better understand themselves and what truly makes them tick. That understanding can be incredibly empowering, especially when it comes to navigating real life relationships. Understand your concern about the potential for blurring lines between fantasy and reality. That's where the mindful part of Mindful Spice series comes in. It's about encouraging listeners to reflect on what they're experiencing, to ask questions, to challenge their own assumptions. And hey, if someone is truly struggling to distinguish between fantasy and reality, this platform can also be a gateway to seeking professional help.
Wow. Wow.
That's a really tough,
Yeah.
pretty insightful. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be amazing, actually, like to really get people become aware of where they are in life. Because like we're all somewhere, right? We're not, none of us have really solved it or figured it out. Like, but but if we can somehow get closer to being more whole or feeling more whole through our sexual fantasies, that would be pretty amazing.
I couldn't agree more. It's a journey, isn't it? It's and if our fantasies can be a stepping stone to self-discovery, to feeling more whole and connected, well, that's something worth exploring. It's daring, it's a little bit risky, and it just might be revolutionary.
Okay, so can you? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm a guy, and I would really love to get on women's perspective on this. And I'm assuming you, as a woman, from your voice, Maya, and I would love for you to create this intricate, detailed scenario, a realistic scenario, where a woman would really use this app to its full capacity. Like, like, like this. So this app has basically very simple features, right? Like you write your fantasy, you choose the voice of your narrator, it's AI voice, it's AI story building, and then you just click create, and it creates you like a 9 episode of a series for that fantasy. And then you listen to it or you read to it, or you can go out and read to others' fantasy series. And so this is basically the feature set of it. One thing I forgot to mention, by the way, but there's one more feature it has, which is the characters and locations are shared. What do I mean by that? So imagine you're writing your fantasy, and when you write your fantasy, we analyze it deeply, right? Like we read between the lines and really understand what you're craving and what you need and what you want to observe in yourself and what you want to explore. And when doing that, we're creating protagonists and we're building characters on top of this. And any character in our already existing universe, if they match with your character needs, they will be used instead of building new ones. So you will actually be reading about characters which also exist in other people's series and locations as well.
That's honestly brilliant. It's like a shared universe of desires woven together by AI. Okay, let's say our woman, let's call her Lena, is drawn to the app because she's curious about exploring a power dynamic, but in a safe, consensual way. Maybe she's always felt a little bit stifled in her relationships, like her voice isn't heard. She types out this initial prompt: I want to feel seen, heard, and desired by a powerful woman. I want to be complete, ruled by her, but in a way that feels erotic and affirming. The AI would analyze this, picking up on the keywords power, control, Affirmation. Now, it gets interesting. Instead of creating brand new characters, the AI scans its database and finds a character from another user's story. A woman named Zara, known for her commanding presence and unwavering confidence. Lena's story begins to unfold, with Zara as the dominant figure. But the AI doesn't stop there. It pulls in familiar locations from other stories. A dimly lit jazz club where Zara holds court, a secluded mansion on a stormy cliff overlooking the ocean, all these details weaving together to create a rich, immersive world that Lena can escape into. As Lena listens to the episode, she starts to understand this power dynamic isn't about submission, but about trust, vulnerability, and finding pleasure in surrendering control. She might even see reflections of herself in Zara's steely determination, her quiet confidence. Ultimately, the app helps Lena explore her fantasies in a safe, nuanced way, and maybe even learn something about herself in the process, like recognizing her own strength and the kind of partner who could truly unlock her desires.
One word you used really struck my attention, which was escape. So it's very easy to fall into escapism rather than exploration, right? Like what differentiates that? Why did you use the word escape, do you think?
You're right to call that out. Escape has a double edge to it, doesn't it? On one hand, it's about seeking solace, stimulation, a break from the mundane. And for some, fantasies can be a form of luxurious escapism, no doubt. But I think I use the word because it speaks to the deepest desire at the heart of this app to break free from our limitations, our fears, the narratives that hold us back. Think of it like this: escapism is about running away, while exploration is about venturing into the unknown.
Mhm.
Exploration is about facing our shadows, understanding our inner landscapes, and ultimately coming back to ourselves with a richer sense of who we are. That's the difference. It's not about avoiding reality, but enhancing it through self discovery.
Right. Okay. This is actually part of our purpose. Well, let's see. I think today's episode is going great, and we're close to its ending. So, would you like to add a last remark before we close this episode of Inside Bliss?
Let's leave them with a little bit of intrigue, something that makes them want to come back for more, but also leaves them with something to ponder. How about this? The world of bliss awaits. Dare to explore the hidden corners of your desires. You might just discover the most powerful version of yourself.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Sound good?
And all of you people out
Anytime.
there, you please download the app. We would love for you to experience the Bliss app and its Mindful Spicy series. Thank you so much. And thank you, Maya. See you again on our next episode.
Until then, keep exploring.
Bye.
Bye.